advocate of peace, religious freedom, and nuclear holocaust. At least according to Sid Meier's Civilization, a 4X strategy game renowned for its depth and detail spanning across centuries of simulated gameplay. The series prides itself on its players' conditions, strategies, and historical accuracy. Well, to a degree. So with the Civilization franchise so intent on doing its best to convey various historical possibilities through its gameplay, why is it that the AI of the historical figure who most people consider to be the apotheosis of peace and love decides to go on a hell-bent nuke spree when the game progresses far enough? Sid Meier's Civilization saw release in late 1991 for MS-DOS, and later received revisions on PlayStation, Super Nintendo, Atari ST, and several other platforms. Many touted it as the pioneer of turn-based strategy, receiving numerous awards and accolades for its unique gameplay. Although there were a few points of criticism, such as spearman units occasionally defeating modern-day tank units, critics were generally blown away by the amount of depth that the game had for its time. There were a total of 15 civilizations to choose from or play against, including Egyptians, Americans, Germans, Greeks, and of course Indians. To better represent each of these civilizations' terrible traits accurately and correctly, the game assigned several values to each nation to determine value, yield win conditions, growth rates, aggression levels, and overall threat to the player. Gandhi was programmed with an aggression level of 1 and a possible 10, which made him generally try to be peaceful toward every other nation and make scientific goal. Only when he was provoked enough, or in some cases denied the sharing of knowledge and tricks, would he declare war on others. So how is it that Gandhi becomes a nuke-bearing warmonger by late game? The answer is simple: democracy. Right about the mid to late game point, every nation is achieved a form of government. One of these choices happens to be democracy, which also happens to increase the civilization's aggression level by 2. Gandhi always takes this form of government because of his reasons. Theoretically, that should make Gandhi even less threat than he already was, at a -1 out of a possible 10 aggression. But in the world of programmed integers, -1 doesn't exist. And this caused his aggression level to underflow from 1 backwards to 255, out of a possible 10. This newfound aggression couldn't be founded at a worse time for players who had left Gandhi to his own devices, as this was right about the time that nukes came out. Thus, nuclear Gandhi was born, terrorizing players for the slightest transgression that he deemed unfit. Or so the legend goes. While this does seem like every game of Civilization is set up just for the player to get into a non-stop nuke fest with Gandhi in the late game, this actually wasn't the case. This bug, while hilarious and infamous in its own right, only occurred under a specific set of conditions. Firstly, India was only available as an opponent if the player chooses to play against 6 other civilizations. Secondly, because of early game Gandhi's pacifism and peace notice, India was usually dismantled by stronger and more aggressive civilizations that inhabited the world around it. Even when India was left to its own devices for the whole game, Gandhi only becomes a nuclear threat if he's already at war with the player when democracy is chosen, because you cannot declare war as a democracy unless he has been attacked first. Even so, the legend was born, and players continued to exchange excited stories and disbeliefs about the once peaceful Indian leader who went mad and bombarded the world with nuclear fallout. Word eventually found its way back to the developers who found a mistake first. They decided to leave the bug in and continue sprinkling in allusions to it throughout the series. Tales of Gandhi being a thirsty warmonger and generally a good continued to crop up through the years and civilizations continuing to Eventually, Civilization 5 came out, and with it came the specific values that dictated each nation's tendencies throughout the game. These values were placed on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. Upon the start of a new game in Civ 5, the values were randomized just a little bit, anywhere from +2 to -2 of the original starting value. When players looked through the traits for each leader, it was soon discovered that Gandhi had mostly normal values. His likeliness to go to war and general competitiveness started at a 2 out of 10. His friendliness and loyalty values started at a 7. And his build nuke and use nuke values were set to 12 out of 10.